Hello everyone, welcome to a new YouTube video. So today, first things first, it's a poll day. Then after, I'll have to go give my laptop to my previous job because your boy got fired, so he has to give all his IT stuff back. I'm finally unemployed.
O mano te convocou, talvez senta ou com o popô. O mano te convocou, talvez senta com o popô. É vapo, vapo no setor, é vapo, vapo do vapor. Vapo, vapo no setor, é vapo, vapo do vapor. Vapo, vapo do vapor, vai tomar vapo do vapor. Vapo, vapo do vapor, vai tomar vapo do vapor. O mano te convocou, talvez senta ou com o popô. O mano te convocou, talvez senta com o popô. É vapo, vapo no setor, é vapo, vapo do vapor. Vapo, vapo no setor, é vapo, vapo do vapor. Vapo, vapo no setor, é vapo, vapo do vapor. Vapo, vapo no setor.
De baixo pra cima, tu senta de lisa pra não machucar. Pra não machucar. Senta de lisa pra não machucar.
The poll session was phenomenal. PRs on everything. Even the deadlift was a speed PR. I've done it before for 5, but took way longer than it did now. Basically did it in like, 16 seconds. So now we're about to go and give in my material from my previous job so I can finally put this behind me and become unemployed. So, as I said in the previous part of the video, I went to bring my PC and stuff back to my previous job because I got fired because they couldn't handle my aura, which is understandable. I don't blame them. But you know what that means, right? I am unemployed for Viltrum Boys Summer. Couldn't be happier. So welcome to the Q&A. First question was, what job do you do or did you do before becoming the Grant Regent? I worked on sea for 3 years, then unemployment. Then after being unemployed, administration worker or desk worker for the city that I live in. Hated my life, hated my job, hated everything. But now an unemployed Viltrumite, so I couldn't be happier. Before we get started, no, I'm not drinking a Monster, it's way too late for that. opinion on steroids. Aren't those the things that killed the dinosaurs? What do you think I think of those? They killed the dinosaurs. Are you single? I am not single. I am engaged. Happily. I'm saying this because else she will beat me up. Reason for becoming THRAGG. Well, I think the reason for becoming THRAGG, or like why did you start lifting or why did you become THRAGG, I think those are pretty much the same questions. I'll go more into that on the THRAGG part soon. But basically, reason why I started lifting was I was bullied a lot in school from when I was, let's say, 5 up until high school even. Then it stopped for a couple of years because I retaliated. The guy that was bullying me, and then it stopped. Then at my job it started again because they saw that I was willing to compete and this and that, and then they started bullying me on my dreams. Oh, you go to the, you know how they are, you go to the gym, eating that again, stupid stuff like that. They're also making fun of me behind my back, again, just for the simple fact that I want to chase bodybuilding as a career. Yeah, of course there's a lot more that contributed to it. When I was 14, let's say, I had certain friends at the time on the PlayStation, and they always made fun of me for being fat because we used to video call while we were gaming, so you couldn't hide the fact that you're fat. And I still remember they always made fun of fat, and then the day my dad said, okay, let's go to the gym together, I still remember my friend at the time said, why do we even bother? You're already fat. Going to the gym won't change anything. Safe to say I'm not friends with those people anymore, but best decision I made in my life is to go to the gym. We started out in this really old school gym. Like, the equipment is older than I am now. The equipment is from the 70s, 80s. I think the owner had a picture with Arnold Schwarzenegger. The vibe was immaculate. In summertime, it literally felt you were training in like Gold's Gym in Venice in the 70s, 80s. It was awesome. I do miss that gym a lot. Also, the machines they had was, compared to even like the modern machines now, way better. Certainly that seated chest press, because I prefer a seated chest press over a lying down one because I benched a lot. So instead of focusing on my chest, I would rather push weight. But with the seated one, pressing horizontally, just feels way better on the chest, to be fair. So where was I? Well, I'm just yapping. Yeah, and then the big switch for me was when I also started paying attention to my food, because at first I was like, I'll become a strongman, because I was still a fat kid that went to the gym and was like, I felt home in strongman because you saw a lot of let's just call them not so lean people lifting weights, and that's the place I thought I felt home in. And then hanging around with my coach, who is also a bodybuilder, and then my friends who are also bodybuilders, then watching like the Trent Twins, Genetic Anomaly, videos of Lee Priest, Jay Cutler, just basically everyone, Dorian Yates. I was like, okay, I like the training style way more. I love deadlifting, don't get me wrong, but I hated benching, I hated overhead pressing. Same with squats. I like squats, but not the powerlifting type squats. I did squat 280 kilos, but then I was like, okay, that's enough. Same with bench, I did 180. It's a big milestone. It's 405, I think. Milestone, I said, okay, I don't need to bench anymore. I really want to focus on growing my chest. Then slowly switch. This is actually my first full bulk / push as a bodybuilder, and now my full cut as a full-fledged bodybuilder. So I'm very excited to see the amount of tissue I accrued in, I think it was 6 months time now. But I always did my compound movements and then sort of bodybuilding, but I didn't really know like the sets, the volume, the this, the that, and the exercise selection that I should do. I just did what was fun, but now I still do what is fun, but in the good selection and order, thanks to my coach. Then, well, and of course I still deadlift, like I said. Deadlifting is a lot of fun, and out of all those lifts, okay, bench can build a chest, don't get me wrong, but the way power lifters bench with like the arch, and that won't build you any significant muscle mass. Trust me, because my chest started growing the moment I stopped doing bench and really focusing on pressing with my chest, with my chesticles, instead of my whole upper body, because it's more shoulders, triceps, a bit of chest, and then the tightness in your lats. That's, you know, doing the work on bench. Like for example, the Trent twins, when they bench, you can literally see it's mostly all chest. You can see the way they bench they're extremely strong on the bench, and they bench like bodybuilders, but sometimes in powerlifting rep ranges, which is awesome to see. Then look at bodybuilding competitions, I get motivated. I'm like, okay, I want to compete. So that's what I'm working towards right now, is a 400 kilo deadlift and or 880 pounds for the freedom units, and going on stage as an open bodybuilder. That's my dream. Then I think that's that covered. I hope so. Then, oh, and the reason for becoming THRAGG, that's what I was, yes. Well, I got a buzz cut, I think like a year and a half ago or a year ago. And I always had a mustache. I always loved mustaches. The 70s, the 80s, the mustache is like unbeatable facial hairstyle. You can't beat a mustache. If you can rock a mustache, it's fine. A beard, hair, mustache is, yeah. And then I was like, my homie told me, oh, you look like this guy from the comics. I'm like, what comic? He was like, you watch Invincible? I'm like, yeah, like Omni-Man. He's like, no, not Omni-Man, because Omni-Man, together with Mike Menser, was also a big part why I wanted to chase bodybuilding, because, well, mustaches and jacked, better combo, best combo. And I was like, no. So there's another guy, and they're like, yeah. Look up THRAGG. I'm like, oh damn. And then I started like posting on TikTok, but not about the THRAGG. I just posted my lifts and stuff like that. Then eventually someone said, what is THRAGG doing on my screen? I'm like, okay, let's take on the persona of THRAGG, the Grant Regent. And that's when it started really rolling, when the new season came out about like a month, 2 months ago. Best decision of my life, by the way. And again, I am so grateful for every single one of you Viltrumites for supporting me and getting me to the place I am now. Because without you guys, nothing like that I am doing right now would be possible, nothing. So you have my eternal gratitude. And there will be some surprises in the future that will make you guys extremely happy. Probably the first time you saw me smile right now. So, do you like Doom? I love Doom Eternal. Doom 2016 is pretty good, but I loved Doom the Dark Ages because Doom Eternal was moving around. Doom the Dark Ages was standing your ground and fighting. And that's my style of playing. When I play a game, I'm the tank build. I just want to stand my ground and fight. That's all I want to do. Favorite drink? Unquestioned, Monster. What taste? I did like the punch rocker or rocker punch flavor, which is I think a new one. But on a day-to-day basis, probably white Monster. Ultra white, ultra red is also good, but I want to try the ultra red, white, blue, like the American version, because they're very expensive to get here, because you can also only buy them in certain stores, I think. What helped you consistently lift weights and get stronger? The answer is in the question. Consistency. No matter how I felt, I went to the gym. Motivation only lasts you that long. Consistency is what gets you far. Because, trust me, I have days that I am not motivated. And like I said, I sometimes watch videos of bodybuilders and that gets me going. I'm like, okay, yeah, let's get this shit. Because of the mindset. But sometimes that mindset is not present. And then it really comes down to how bad do you want to get stronger? How bad do you want to build muscle? How bad do you want this? And that's when consistency takes over. Because each and every day I go to the gym, I don't do weight training every day, but each day I am at the gym, which is consistency. Even on the days I'm like, tired, you go. No excuses. That's what helped me. My daily routine. Right now, because I'm still figuring everything out, because, everything is quite new. Wake up, breakfast, then I do my steps. After breakfast, or I shower. After breakfast, do my steps, the whole do steps, play some games, try to make some content if I can, if I have the ideas. Text around, see around, just see, okay, try to reach out to you guys as much as possible. I am doing my best. It is hard, but I am doing my best because I want to give back to you guys. Then after that, a meal, then I either take a nap, because, well, unemployed. I take a nap, I chill a bit, or I do the remainder of my steps, because steps are very important for cardiovascular health and health in general. Then I mostly go to the gym, I get back, I eat, I chill, I eat again, and it's bedtime for me. So my day is very structured around my training. My main goal in the day is training. And of course, when my girl is over, we do go do activities outside when she's here, going to cities, sightseeing, museums we like to do as well. Certainly history. I love history. I am obsessed with history. Certainly medieval European history. Yeah, just you put me in Dark Souls, I'll be a happy man. If you could choose 3 games to play for the rest of your life, what would they be? Good question. Skyrim. But I would install mods, because armor variety and just stuff like that, and graphics, because even though it's a game from 2011, the remaster for the PlayStation 5 is still pretty good looking in my opinion. Sometimes even better looking than the modern Ubisoft games, but again, that's my opinion. Opinions are not facts, but mine are. So if you disagree, that's you're in the wrong. I don't care. Then number 2, I'd pick an online game that you can play with the homies. Let's say Minecraft, because you can play that with almost everyone, and it doesn't really spike your cortisol as much as Rainbow Six Siege will do. And one more game. I mean, I played a lot of Assassin's Creed Black Flag and For Honor, but I wouldn't be able to play For Honor for the rest of my life, because the rework they did on Lawbringer is an injustice to the character. I don't like it at all, and that's why I don't play it anymore. Because yes, I am a Lawbringer main. God damn, what other game do I enjoy? Mordau. Yeah, Mordau. It's a medieval fighting game. It's way better than Chivalry is, and in every aspect of the game. It's better than Chivalry, and I genuinely don't care what you say. Don't at me. I'm right. I'm the Grand Regent. My opinion is law. Stormcloaks or Imperials? Drip-wise, Imperials. Faction-wise, Stormcloaks. Because I do not want the Aldmeri Dominion in Skyrim. To be fair, I don't want a Thalmor anywhere in Tamriel. Okay, maybe the way they go about it, the Stormcloaks is not the best approach. We'll say in the long-term run, Skyrim won't be able to survive, because then you have to fight the Thalmor and a unified empire. Do you think the empire? Okay, the empire doesn't like the Thalmor, but do you think they will ever turn on the Thalmor? They won't. They don't have a spine. Before the white gold concordat, they did have a spine. After that, it's spineless. It's twink behavior, soy boy low test behavior. What supplements do I take? Good question. Isolate protein, multivitamins, electrolytes, cyclic dextrin. I think it was a B. Cyclic dextrin, which is intra-workout carbs, EAAs, creatine, vitamin D3, which is in my multivitamin, but always pair D3 with K2, because else the calcium will go to your veins, and you don't want that. You need the calcium in your bones. I get everything from Huge Supplements, so if you want to get some supplements, go to hugesupplements.com, use my code STASH for 10% off. I also use Hibernate, which is a sleeping aid, because yeah, it just knocks you out and gets you good sleep, and that's what I need, that's what I want, because I already have trouble sleeping because of my hands. Do you love Latinas? I love Slavics. I'm engaged to a Slavic. They're the European Latinas. Boys date Latinas, men date Slavics, whatever you want to call them. So there's a big chance me even mentioning the term Latinos will get my ass beat by my fiance. What guns do you want to shoot? Trend Twins, if you see this, if I could, I would fly out to you guys to just shoot guns with you guys, because I don't think there's anyone better to shoot guns with than the two of you. So my favorite guns to shoot with. I want to shoot a double barrel shotgun, a Desert Eagle, a Beretta, an AK, or just an AR-15 to be fair. An LMG, I don't care what LMG it is. I also want to fire a medium machine gun, an MP5, because I want to have I want to do the HK slap, like when you smack the spring down. Any other guns? I'd love to shoot a 18th century cannon if I could. I don't think that classifies as a gun. A musket would be nice. And also just next to the double barrel shotgun, just any other shotgun, because I play Doom a lot and yeah, I love shotguns. Do you have a pet? My wife, no, do I have a pet? I do. His name is Oswald. He's a dog. And before you ask what brand of the what race of dog is he is a real one. He's a real one. No, he's a mix between a wiener dog and a pit bull. How old am I? 23. When did I start lifting? When I was around 15 years old. My favorite smell, cinnamon rolls and pussy, I mean vanilla. Hope my grandma doesn't watch this video. What do you think about cars, dinosaurs, and beer? I dislike alcohol. I don't drink it. Cars, very cool. Chevy, the Camaro from Transformers. Favorite car. Favorite dinosaur, T-Rex and Ankylosaur. Mental journey, I think the hardest part about it is, my hardest part, or like the mental part I struggled with was I think the patience, if that makes sense. Because if you rush it, I'm not a person that had, I do now, I didn't have a lot of patience growing up. But when you rush things, certainly in the gym, when you rush your workout, it's not going to be good. When you rush getting lean, you'll lose muscle. When you rush getting more muscular, so bulking, you'll get excessively fat. So patience was the hardest part of the mental journey, because it goes slow. But once you start going, it starts going. How do I like my steak? Raw on the inside. Well done or anything over rare is just a shoe you're chewing on, and I don't want that. How to be confident to start posting? Just start posting, and you'll notice the people closest to you won't support you as much as they say they do, because most people who unfollowed me were close friends, if that makes sense. Handling the loss of Viltrum, well, I am not. I got addicted to caffeine and I'm starting to gray on the sides. Not handling it very well. Thank you for asking though. Deadlift on pull or on legs? Conventional deadlifts on pull, sumo deadlifts on legs, because in my opinion, two completely different lifts. How to stay motivated? Keep that promise to past and future you, if that makes sense. Past you wanted to look a certain way. Present you never wants to look the way you used to anymore. And future you wants to look as good as possible. So keep that promise to yourself. Present, past, and future. And now, the most important question on this paper. Do you like feet? I love feet. French tips on the toenails. Best thing ever. Might even be better than Viltrum. Don't tell anyone though. Yeah, that was all. So thank you guys for these questions. Certainly the feet one. There will be a couple of very exciting announcements soon, so keep your eyes out for that. Thank you for watching, Viltrumites. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe, share, and follow me on Instagram. And remember, all is ours. Peace.